So this is a little hard for me because a lot's been going on and I haven't really filmed in a while. January was just a rush to get the final edits done for Kavera to be sent off to my developmental editor on February 1st. And for basically the entire month of February, I've done nothing. I'm Bella Rive. I'm an aspiring author currently working on my I'm Bella Rive, an aspiring author currently working on my debut novel, but that's a whole conversation in of itself. I'm 25. I turned 26 in July. I am living at home with my family. I am still working part-time. I don't have a savings, and I still have yet to make writing my career. And I'm sitting here not knowing how to get the life that I want. I'm sitting here struggling because I want to own my own home. I want to get married. I want to have kids. And I had hoped that the process for that would at least be started by now, but it hasn't. Life in the US, especially in the LA area that I'm at, is just getting more and more expensive. Buying a home, they start at $1 million. Some of them shouldn't be $1 million, but it's besides the point. And before I even begin to start dating with the intention of marriage, I have a lot of personal things I have to work on. There's a lot of mental stuff and medical stuff and just generally taking care of myself that is going to take time. And I'm never going to expect that I'm going to have all of this figured out by the time I start dating or dating seriously. But I at least want to start the process so that when I am with someone, I am working with them to get better and not just not to make any progress in the things I know need to be made. Now, making progress on my health stuff is not an easy task. I don't drive. I have a lot of anxiety behind driving. And because of that, in order to schedule doctor's appointments, I have to work around the schedule of my family that I live with, especially my mom. But with my work schedule the way that it is, and with her work schedule being chaotic, and my teenage sister graduating high school, and everybody has busy lives. They have busy schedules, and it's very difficult to work around everyone to be able to get my doctor's appointments. Now, as for work, that's a whole conversation. I am hoping to switch jobs soon. I'm not going to explain any of the details on that, but I am hoping to switch jobs soon because my current place is not the best. I currently work in a retail job part-time, and it sucks because I loved retail. I loved it. It was the main job that I had for the last 6 years, and I'm kind of crazy, but I've never, before this point at least, I never really had a problem with coworkers or managers or customers really, and I really loved retail. I loved fixing the racks. I loved running racks. I loved the customers that I got to meet, and it was a pretty simple job day to day. Sometimes tasks would rise that I would have to be taught how to do, but for most of the stuff that I did, it was pretty much the same. But I'm at a place right now where it's just making it all draining. I love my coworkers. I love my regular customers that come in. I love having all the conversations that I do. But the overall situation sucks right now. For the past few months, we've been really struggling with the understaffing issue and meeting demand for the staff that we currently have. And unfortunately, there's no way to get additional hours to cover everything, because in order to do that and make it get additional hours for the day of, The general manager has to call her boss and get the approval, and it's a whole situation that has to be dealt with. And it's just getting coverage is next to impossible, especially when someone calls out and we just don't have the time to figure it out. And by time, I mean 2 to 3 weeks. I mean, you need to put in your scheduled vacation time 2 to 3 weeks in advance. You calling out means that we're just going to be understaffed, and there's no way for them to extend hours for somebody or call for coverage because general manager has to, or the store manager has to contact her boss and then get the approval, and it's a whole process. Now, I am hoping, as I said, to get a new job because right now, in the meantime, it's just getting hard. My overall, hold on, I gotta put a pillow behind me. My overall energy level for what I can handle during the day and what I can handle day to day is just getting less and less and less. And it's getting very difficult to balance everything and be able to do the things that I want to, because for the last couple of weeks, actually, I haven't been able to do anything either before or after my shift. I don't want to use up my energy before my shift because I'm going to need that mental energy for work. And when I get home, I usually work closings, but on the day that I do work openings, I've already been drained of any and all work that I want to do. And it just sucks because it feels like this job is sucking the life out of me. It feels like it is making my day-to-day harder. And at the current moment, I can't quit. I can't go without a job because bills for my family partially rely on my income, and I need that, obviously. We're going to go into Kavera because there's a bit of a conversation for this. I am hoping to soon do a full video in-depth conversation about Kavera because there's a lot to talk about. But I'm going to try to give an overview right now just so that everybody can see where my head is at and why I have been struggling a lot, especially the last week. Now, I've hit a bit of a snag in this process. So for the 2 weeks that I sent it off to my developmental editor, which was Brielle on YouTube, she is an absolutely amazing developmental editor, and all of the feedback that I've gotten from her so far is amazing. The snag is on my end in figuring out how to actually use that information to make a better story, just to get that out of the way. But after sending it off to her February 1st, I kind of got a bit of a drop. The first week, I basically did next to nothing. I did a lot of scrolling and playing games on my phone, like those basic matching games. And I just did that constantly. Oops, my computer is dying. The second week, I got a bit more energy and I was starting to make Instagram, like carousel photos, graphics that I made on Canva, because I had really hoped to do Instagram and do a post of some kind every day for at least 30 days. And then in the third week, I started posting those photo carousel things, and I realized they weren't getting the traction that my reels did, which makes sense. And so I had tried to go back to doing reels. I got one video in and I just couldn't, because I think that was around the time that I finally got the feedback back from Brielle. And now that I've had time to go through the process, and I am stuck. So Kavera basically is split into two halves. The first half is more of a slice of life college story, and the second half fades more into like a classic romantasy story. And based off the feedback that I got from her, I did not blend them well enough. It seems like it was a bit jarring with what happened in the second half, So the people who read the first won't stay for the second half. And that makes sense. I knew the blend of the two stories and the two halves were going to be a problem. I just didn't know how to fix them or what needed fixing. And the transition between the two is just not as smooth as I had hoped. So I have two directions I can take this. I can either edit the story as is and blend the two halves better. And I do have some ideas on how to do that, though there's nothing concrete. The second option, however, is rewriting the full second half of the story, or most of the story, to be a cozy romantasy. And I don't know how I feel about all this yet. So this would basically just be rewriting a massive portion of the story. And I'm still working through my options. I'm still trying to figure it all out. It's gonna take a bit more time. By the time you see this, I will hopefully already have an idea of where I'm going and what I'm doing. But as of right now, where I am in the thought process of all of this, I don't yet have a plan. I don't yet have an idea. And I'm still waiting back on the email from Brielle, my editor, because I do have some thoughts about different options I can take this. I sent off an email to her to get just my thoughts down, what I got from her feedback, where I'm potentially going to go, my different options, and I'm waiting on that email back. When I get that email, I am then going to discuss in my writing community. I'm going to talk to my best friend, and I'm going to start to work through all of this. Hopefully by the time I have the video of talking about Kavera and all of that, I will have a better direction on where I'm going. But for now, I can't really say anything about that. I do want to again make it very clear that the feedback that I got from Brielle was amazing. I just want to again make that very clear that I loved her feedback. It's just figuring out how to do it, because I've been sitting with the story as is for so long, is just hitting a mental block for me. But I'm going to figure it out eventually. We're going to move on to my brand real quick, because I need to verbalize this and I don't know where I'm going. I love writing and I love making content, but the act of doing and editing both is draining most of the time. I want to have a career where I am self-sustaining my life, where I am providing for myself. I don't know where that will put me. I don't know what that looks like. And as of right now, writing and social media are my only options, because that's all I really have space for in my brain when it comes to the creation of things. I do have potential things that I want to work on. I have some ideas for candle making that I would love to do at some point, but that is a little ways away, because my container for power towards creative tasks is just, it's full. I don't have space for another creative task. I don't have space for something else. No matter what, I want to write and I want to keep writing. But in order to do that, I either need to have a long-term job that I don't hate, or publish books and have that be my job to, make money and be able to sustain the act of writing. I don't know. I feel like I'm talking in circles, but point is, this all just, I don't know what this looks like. I don't know what the future looks like at the current moment. I don't know what my plan for the future is at the current moment. Right now, life is very chaotic and hard, and it is putting a strain on my mental state, and I can't really keep up with anything at the current moment. I don't know if switching my YouTube channel and my brand to a personal brand versus a writing one would help with that or make it harder. But I think the act of doing both YouTube and Instagram is making it worse. So I think I'm going to focus on YouTube, focus on long form videos, focus on these that I can film in less than an hour, potentially edit in an hour if I can really master that skill level, and just maybe film things that are a little bit more life-centered instead of writing-centered. I might experiment with a couple of those videos just to see how they do, see where that goes. I have Anime Expo coming up in July. It is still February, I think. So I have that I can film content around. I can eventually do candles and I can film content around that. I will say if I am switching my brand to a lifestyle brand, I need to do a lot more in my day-to-day, because right now my life is pretty much centered around work, writing, and the one day a week or every other week that I go out with my friend, and we tend to just do errands when we go out. So I need to do more if I'm going to be, dang, nearly finished with this video and I got cut off by a stupid alarm. Anyways, it's kind of strange because I don't even know if I want to be a public face on social media. Right now, with me being a self-published author, it sort of feels like I have to be, at least a little bit. And I think that if I start on here and then for whatever reason, something explodes, something gets popular, something grows, I can make shifts and create a brand that's maybe not so public facing. I don't know. We'll see. Right now, I'm just struggling because trying to force anything is the quickest way to ending up in the hospital from overworking myself, overstraining myself, over exerting my mental capacity is going to put me in the hospital from stress and exhaustion, and that won't be good because I kind of still need to work to help provide for my family. Everyone in my family is struggling right now because life is a struggle. Surviving and making ends meet is a struggle. So, I don't know. In the description, I have a mailing list sign up for, I don't know, Kavera updates, writing updates, life updates. I've got that down there. Hopefully I can somehow come up with some idea as to what the hell I am doing with my life and what the hell I am doing moving forward. And hopefully I can come up with some sort of clarity within the next couple of weeks. But for now, I will see you guys next time. And I hope you guys are not struggling as much as I am. But whether you are or not, please let me know in the comments. Why do I keep saying description? Let me know in the comments, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.